Hi everyone, it's Bethany. Welcome back. In this video, I recently went to Dollar Tree and I was surprised to find a variety of fun card making supplies within the aisles. So I thought it would be fun to put a little video together. I found at least 20 items. Can't remember the total amount, but I'm going to go ahead and share a variety of fun things that I found, and hopefully this inspires you the next time you go to Dollar Tree. And if you love card making just as much as I do, I'm sure you're going to love some of the things that I found. Okay, so I have so many things to share. The first thing that I want to share is this tape. So this is some really, really nice foam tape. I'll go ahead and open this up. You can find this in the craft section. And I have used this before actually. One thing I will say about it is that it is extremely sticky. So this is a 3-pack, which is really nice to have because you have a nice, it looks like to be about 1/4 inch. You have a nice thin option. This is really nice for shaker cards or for bumping up smaller or thinner items. And then you have a little bit more of a middle of the road. Doesn't look to be, it's probably about a 1/3 inch, and then a 1/2 inch foam tape. It's really nice. It's really thick. Again, it's super, super sticky. So I really like this little 3-pack. It's really nice and fun. And again, you can find this in the craft section. In another section, this was in more of the school supplies section, I found this foam mounting tape. Now, I'm not sure if this is used for mounting items on a wall, but I figured that this would work well as well for putting some dimension on your card making projects. And this looks to be at about 3/4 inch, and I really like this. It looks like it will work just perfectly. So I'm gonna go ahead and open this up. At the end of this video, after I share all of these fun supplies, we will be making a card. So maybe oh, that's nice. Maybe I will use this foam tape since I've used this before and give it a little test run. Okay, so we have a little 3-pack here, but then also in that little school supply section, you can also find a thicker foam mounting tape. Speaking of adhesives, this is a double-sided tape that I found in the craft section. This is wonderful for shaker cards. I really, really love having a nice thin tape. So this is a little double-sided tape, and look at that. Isn't that nice? It looks to be probably 1/3 inch. Yep. So I think that's about right. It's not quite 1/4 inch. I would say it's closer to 1/3 inch, but this is so nice. So what you do is you just stick it down on your paper. Once you have it secured, then you can peel this liner off and reveal your double-sided tape. This is super, super nice, really nice for card making. I especially grab for this again when doing shaker cards. Finishing up the adhesives, I found these really nice little pop dot adhesives. I believe these also come in a circular shape as well, but I really, really like the square shape. So I'm gonna go ahead and open these up. These are really nice. They're double-sided. They are really great if you want to bump up a smaller little section. I like to use a foam tape when I am putting down an entire card panel onto my card, but then for bumping up individual little embellishments, these little foam squares are really, really nice to use. All right, that is it for adhesives. I was really impressed with the amount of adhesives that I found at Dollar Tree, and I can't wait to give them more of a try. 2 other things that I found at Dollar Tree are these little stamp blocks. I found one that is more of a little scallop, which is super nice. But then I also found another that's more of a square shape, and this includes the little grid lines. Again, both of these were in the craft section of Dollar Tree. I like one with grid lines. I think that's super helpful if you really wanted to line up a stamp really well. This one looks like it has, let me see here. I feel like this has a little liner on there. So I'm just gonna grab my tweezers and remove that liner because we won't want that on there because it would affect how the stamp clings to it. So make sure you remove that. And there is our little stamp block. These are really helpful because not only can you secure your little stamp on there and then stamp on your paper, which I'll show you later, but you can also use these as little weights. So after you glue something down onto another piece, I like to pop these on top, and then it provides some weight so that it dries really, really nicely. So really excited to find these. They look to be a little less than 3 inches a piece. Really nice size, so I would recommend picking up not only one but a couple of these. They're very handy to have in your card making supplies. I also found an adhesive eraser in the craft section. I think this is one of my best friends to have in my corner when I am card making, because sometimes I get a little too much adhesive on my paper project, and if you have an adhesive eraser, it is so nice to have so you can erase some of the extra adhesive that you have on your project. These are super nice to have around. I highly recommend you grabbing one of these the next time you're at Dollar Tree. There was also a variety of washi tape that I found at Dollar Tree. I think this is great for a couple of reasons. First, it's fun to embellish if you wanted to create a really fun card with some patterns on it, but also this is really nice for securing your dies on your paper before running them through your die cut machine. I like to use washi tape. I think it's really, really nice. And again, I found it in a variety of little patterns. So be sure you pick up some of this. It's really nice to have in your craft space when you are doing paper crafting. Shaker cards are such a fun card to create. So I was really inspired with some filler opportunities when it comes to creating shaker cards. The first thing I found was this tube confetti. It came in a silver, gold, and then more of a holographic look. This one's super pretty. It's kind of a clear holographic. And I thought that this was a really fun option for putting inside of a shaker card. They also had really fun sequins. Sequins is another fun little fill to put in your shaker card, but it also can be placed on the outside of your card if you wanted to add some further embellishments. They had a variety of packs in different colors. I just went ahead and grabbed this one, but I know during the fall time they usually have more golds and oranges, which are really pretty as well. Now, this is actually beads, but you can actually put anything that you would like within a shaker card, and I thought that these were a really fun idea. They offered a fun, different shape and texture to go inside of a shaker card. I feel like this would be beautiful for the fall season, so I went ahead and grabbed it to place in my stash so that I have it for later. And as I just mentioned, you can use anything you wish to fill your shaker card. So I went ahead and found these sprinkles in the party section, and I thought this was a really fun idea for creating a little shaker card as well. So always get creative when you're thinking of creating a more dimensional shaker card. There's so many ways that you can bring some color and texture by just choosing some different types of fill. You can also have fun just trimming up little pieces of paper and using that as a filler as well. I was also surprised to see some cutting dies at Dollar Tree, so I picked up a variety. I like this one for this little berry option. I thought this would be a really fun way to create a wreath. Now, I will pause and say that in this video we are going to create a card, but I really think it would be fun to save and do a dedicated video just on the cutting dies from Dollar Tree. So I will set these aside in this video and not use them, but be sure to check out the video that is coming out, I think next week, on using cutting dies from Dollar Tree. So we're gonna save these and test them out next time, but I found a variety. Again, this is more of some fun leaves. Then I have little nesting hearts, which are really cute. And then this is a more of a border die, but I really liked how it was a little flower scene. I thought this would be really pretty as well. So hang tight. We are going to go ahead and focus more on these cutting dies in the next video, but I was really, really excited to see these. And I forgot I actually did pick up a fourth. I thought this was really pretty. It would be really nice to do some borders. It gives you actual ideas on the back. I wonder if they actually gave oh, they do. So here's some additional inspiration. I didn't really think to look at the back. I think this is giving more, I wonder if that's actual size. Looks like that might be actual size. So it does give you a little closer look on how those would look cut out, but then some further inspiration here. I love how this one says that you could create this little border for the top of your card. I didn't think of that, so that's really, really fun. And then you could layer them one on top of another here. I really like this one as well. It gives you a variety of ideas. My original idea was this, but I love just by simply turning them around how you can create completely different looks. So this would be a very versatile cutting die to have in your craft space because of the variety of patterns that you could create with it. All right, again, we'll be exploring these cutting dies in another video, but I was excited to see them at my Dollar Tree. Please let me know if you have found a different variety or any other items at your Dollar Tree for cutting dies. Another fun thing that I found at Dollar Tree were little stamp sets. In a previous video, I went ahead and created a card with this really cute llama stamp set. I'll link that up in the corner for you as well as in the description box below the video if you want to check out that Dollar Tree video. But I also found this really fun clear stamp set that is more summer themed. And because it's summertime, I thought that we would use this stamp set today to create a fun card. So more clear stamp inspiration found at Dollar Tree. I haven't found anything in addition to these two styles where I'm at, but I would be curious to see if you found anything different at your local Dollar Tree. I found these little snack containers at Dollar Tree and I was instantly excited about their size. Of course, labeled a snack container, they are a little bit smaller, but I thought that these would be really great for embossing powders. So I have my embossing powders in little jars here, but I have seen so many people use little containers like this to house their embossing powder, excuse me. So I was excited to see little small containers of that size that I could just pour my embossing powder into and use it in that manner. You would also want to grab like a little miniature spoon that you could keep inside just to help to distribute it over your embossing ink. But I thought these were really, really neat. You could also use a Cricut or a Silhouette to add some lettering to the front if you wanted to label what embossing powder is inside, which is super helpful as well. So I'm not going to pour mine out in this video, but I'm going to save these to the side because I loved that idea, especially for colors that I use time and time again. I also found these gemstone stickers in the craft section, and I am really excited about these because they are self-adhesive. So these are really nice for adding final little shine and embellishments to your final card project. So I found these in silver. I think they had a variety of different colors, but I really like the neutrality of this. So I went ahead and picked this up to have in my stash, and maybe we'll pull this in for the card later. We'll see what we do. Okay, only a couple other things. I found these really sweet stickers at the Dollar Tree as well. Dollar Tree has a huge variety of stickers and I usually pass them by, but I was really drawn to this set here. I love that it actually has dimensional stickers inside. You can see that they are popped up. So that was really fun as well. And I feel like these are really nice little items to have in your craft stash because let's be honest, there are times when you just really need a quick card. And so having little pre-done little embellishments for your card can be really handy in times like that. So I love the banner. It's nice and dimensional there. You could also use these to decorate the outside of your envelope as well, but I thought this was really fun and it's worth taking a look at that little section to see if you can get any other little embellishments that will help enhance your card. The final thing that I found at Dollar Tree for card making was in the school supply section, and they are these little miniature sticky notes. These are really handy for masking off areas that you want to keep free from ink blending or other techniques that you're doing. So I went ahead and grabbed these. These are super handy to have when doing any type of paper crafting, but especially card making, especially when you're getting a little bit messy. So these are worth having in your stash. So nice. I loved the little pastel colors, but I am excited to be able to have these because they were, again, $1.25, but you got a nice little variety of them and they are perfect for masking. Okay, so those were the items that I found for card making at my local Dollar Tree. I would love to hear if you found anything different at yours. Please share it down in the comment section down below so that we can be inspired on what to look for. So let's go ahead and create a fun little card with some of the items that I found. So naturally, I am going to bring in some non-Dollar Tree items to bring my card together because I did not find things like ink or cardstock at my Dollar Tree. So you will see me bring in a variety of other things that I didn't find at Dollar Tree for the sake of creating a physical card. Okay, I'm going to bring in my little mini evolution. I have a couple larger die cutting machines, but I'm only going to be making some small cuts for this card. So I'm going to go ahead and use my mini now. I do have an unboxing video of when I first got this machine and opened it up. So if you're curious about that, I'll place a link to that video for you to enjoy as well. I went ahead and did open up this washi tape, and what I think I'm going to do is create some stencils. Now, as I mentioned, I am going to be focusing on some of the Dollar Tree dies in an upcoming video just because I feel like it is worth dedicating its own video to discussing and playing around with that. But for this video, I'm going to use some circle dies that I have. I'll link everything that I'm using down below. But let's go ahead and create some stencils so that we can bring some color to this paper and play with those fun summer stamps. Okay, when creating some stencils, I just grab some scrap paper and I'm going to do a variety of sizes. So let's go ahead and pull. Let's kind of get an idea here. I'm going to do something like, and you can do this with a variety of shapes. I like to do this technique often when I want to bring in color. And maybe I'll do something like that. That could be really fun. Okay, let's see. Do I have, oh, that's plenty of room. I wanted to make sure that that die wasn't going to be too big. Okay, so let's go ahead and start creating our stencils. And I'm going to be using that Post-it tape to further help me mask off when I am ink blending. Okay, so this is the first size that I want to do. I actually only need one cutting plate. I have my little base plate here and this plate here. And I can just pull this right through and cut out. There we go. All right. So there is my first stencil. Now, if you have circular stencils in your craft space, then absolutely grab those. I don't, so I like to create my own stencils from time to time. Okay, so let me go ahead and continue creating some little stencils simply by rolling these through. And I thought it would be fun, instead of doing just one size stencil, to have a little variety here. All right. Okay, so I suppose we should address quality. So whenever I am, using items from the dollar store, I keep in mind that I paid $1.25 for it. So of course the quality is going to be a little less than something that is costing much, much more. So I just want to mention that because I think it's always just humbling to remember that, what you pay for is what you get. That's not to say that you shouldn't invest in craft supplies at Dollar Tree, but sometimes I find that maybe we expect too much from something or are easily disappointed with something that we found that has already been discounted so much. So just bear that in mind. Of course, you are going to, when you pay only $1.25 for something, it's going to be made to, be able to be sold at $1.25. All right, let's go ahead and try out the washi tape. I'm going to secure my paper there, and I am going to start with this circle here. I think this will be really fun, and I'll further put some washi tape down here. Okay, so I'm going to have this go off the mat just a little bit. I'm going to secure that right there. And then because I am really not giving myself much room over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab my sticky notes and I am going to mask off that area and give myself a little more grace. Okay, so grabbing a sticky note here I am simply going to place those, oops, straighter. I'm going to place them straighter. I'm going to place 1 and 2. And this is just going to essentially extend my stencil, and it's going to mask off that paper area so that I don't get ink that is only intended for this little area here. Okay, now let's bring in some color. Okay, I am going to bring in a variety of fun colors here for my ink. I went ahead and chose pink, lemonade, grapefruit, buttercup, and tide pool. And we're gonna have fun creating some color with ink blending on these stencils. I think I will do this order. I think that'll be really fun. Okay, setting these to the side, I want to start with my pink lemonade. These little towels are not from the Dollar Tree, but make sure that you do grab some paper towels while you're there as well, because they are really nice for cleaning your blending brushes. So always peruse the entire store. I usually find craft supplies to be in other areas of the store as well. Okay, pink lemonade, here we go. So I'm going to go ahead and start bringing in that color again with some blending brushes and some fun ink pads. Okay. There we go. I want this to be really fun and summery, so I'm going to really bump up this color and make it really vibrant. I think that will be super fun. So let me know as I'm creating, let me know if you have done any fun cards with Dollar Tree products yet, or if you have just found some of their craft supply items for card making to be super helpful. I love being inspired by you as well, especially when I go ahead and make another trip to dollar store. It's nice to know what things I should be looking for while I'm down the craft aisle. Okay, there we go. I think that is just about the color that I would like. So those Post-its did a great job masking that section off. Okay, so I'll pull off my Post-its. I can absolutely reuse those, so I'll just set those to the side and pull off my stencil. So there is my first stencil and my first color. Now, I did get some ink up here. I don't even know if you can really tell, but I'm going to trim down my panel, so I'm not worried about that at all. Okay, the next one I want to bring in is this size. I was going to say this shape, but they're all circles. Okay, and this is pretty low tack, so I'm going to go ahead and just secure this right down. And to secure the other edges, I will just go ahead and use my Post-its. Okay, now sometimes Post-its don't want to stick over ink blended areas, so you'll just want to be careful there. And again, I'm just going to mask all of my surrounding areas because my stencil didn't have very wide areas there. So Post-its come in handy. And you can reuse them. So if you overuse here and you think, oh my goodness, I'm using so many, just reuse them. Reuse them as much as you can. Okay. There we go. Let's go ahead and bring in our next color, which is grapefruit. I'll also be mindful just to wipe my ink off of my mat here. That way I don't make any further messes here. Okay, I'm going to clean off my orange brush, and I know grapefruit in terms of color comes in a little bold, so I'm going to make sure that I really tap this off, and I'm going to go in light because I know I can always bring in additional color, but I want to have more control over my color and start off lighter and build as I see fit. But this is so pretty. Okay, and you could do this technique with those heart nesting little dies that I showed in this video as well. That would be very fun. I can't wait to do that next video. I'm really eager to learn more about their little dies that they are providing. Okay, I think I do want to stay on the lighter side for this nice orange. So I think right about there. Okay, so again, saving my Post-its. They're doing a fine job of masking. And then there is my next color. Isn't that pretty? Okay, I'm gonna be gentle. Sometimes washi tape can tear the paper, so you wanna be mindful, but that did really good. So it is pretty low tack, which is wonderful. Usually I use washi tape for securing things. I really do need to learn to get inspired with it in other ways. But I mean, it's one thing I'm still learning. Okay, I think we did something, did we do something like this and then maybe like that? I feel like our big one was here. So I want to do maybe this. I think that would be nice. Okay, so maybe like that, and bringing that washi tape right back in. Put that here. And I'll go ahead and further mask around my opening just to extend my stencil some more. The next color we're going to use is a yellow, and it's called Buttercup. So pretty. And you know, I will extend it here too, because it just gives me a little bit more peace of mind. Sometimes you just are focused on creating and not focused on being super careful with not going out of the area too much. All right, here is Buttercup. Such a pretty color. And cleaning off my brush once more. That way, if I don't remember what ink I used the last time, then I have my brush pretty clean. Okay. Here is, oh, that one's kind of, doesn't want to stick on that washi tape very much. That's okay. Okay, here is Buttercup. Such a pretty yellow. I'm feeling the summer vibes already with this card. So pretty. I love the idea of, you know, I absolutely shop at other places for my card making supplies, right? Especially for stamps and dies and other things like that. But I love the idea of being able to bring down some of the costs, such as in your foam tape or your adhesives. It's such a nice alternative. Because if you save in one area, then obviously you can spend a little more in another area. So I like the idea of maybe saving on some of the supplies that I find to be kind of hidden. So I feel like adhesives are something that, you know, they're a silent rock star on a card, right? You don't see them, but they do a great job. So, you know, a cheaper adhesive I think is a great idea. And then you can spend your money on some of the other elements that are a little bit more seen on the card. Okay, I think I got that pretty good. Oh yeah, that looks nice. Okay, so gentle again. And now let's do, I want to save this washi tape. Oop, I kind of teared, so let's go ahead and just let that one go. But let's go ahead and do our final circle. I'm going to do something like this. So let's secure it with some of our washi tape. It's a fun little pattern, isn't it? Okay. And I'm just going to do it right here. Okay. And then reusing my Post-its to create a mask. Okay, that looks great. My final color is going to be Tide Pool, and I feel like this is going to definitely give us a good summer look. Here is our final color. So, so pretty. Everything is just so summery with this color combination. Okay. Okay, just bumping up the color just a tad more, and then I should be good to go. So, so pretty. I love it. Okay, let's go ahead and be done there. And there's the final little part of our card. Isn't that fun? I think that's really fun. Simple, easy way to bring color to a card. And you can absolutely use this technique with any set that you have in your craft room, any supplies, just by creating any shape using any colors that you have. And it's just really fun and simple. Okay, so the next thing that I want to do is bring in my stamps. Now these little stamp blocks are intended to cling your little clear stamps to, so that you have something to mount your stamps on and stamp with. So here is my little stamp set, and what I thought we would do is just have some fun putting some, oh, this is gonna be fun, some of these little elements within our little area here. So what I think I'll do is I kind of want to just pick what I want and where. So I know I want the ice cream. I think that's so cute. I know I also wanted the watermelon. That's very, very fun. And I can just kind of play with where I want these. I also want to bring in the flip-flops. I think that's nice. And that takes the shape up on that pink one really well. Now I do need to trim my panel down, but just getting an idea. I also want the starfish. I think that that's really fitting for the blue, or that little teal area. Okay, so there is what I am doing so far. And I also think I'll bring in my other stamp set to use this little hello. I love this because it is so generic. It is just a simple sentiment that can be placed on any card, and it works, right? So on another piece of paper, I will demonstrate doing the stamping with these little mounts that you can find. Now, I'm going to mention that I am not what they call like a free stamper or a free range stamper. I just don't have that type of steady hand and talent. So I use a stamp positioner, which I'll show you in a bit, and that's how I'm going to do it on my actual card. That way I don't ruin anything. However, I want to show you how these work because these are super, super nice. I just need more practice with them. So I'll go ahead and grab a black ink, and let's grab one of these stamps. How about we do the duck? It's a cute little ducky. Okay, so you can use either one. I'm just gonna place this right on here, and then I like to just kind of rub, since it's a brand new stamp, rub that down, and now it is right on that little stamp block. Okay, now I will say it is kind of thin. It's probably a little less than 1/4 of an inch. Yes, so that's kind of a little difficult just because you're going to want to keep your fingers back so that you can actually press down. And sometimes I feel, especially with the bigger ones, that I'm able to, you know, have more of a grip on there with my fingers, but you're going to want to have a little bit of a tighter little grip. That way your fingers don't get in the way of you placing your stamp to the paper. Okay, so now I'm just going to ink up my stamp here. Okay, that looks pretty good. Kind of looks a little marbly, but as new stamps do, I'm just going to set that down and press really, really nice. Oh, that did really well. What a nice little impression. I'm wondering if I want to do the ducky on here. I don't know. I like all the ones that I have. Okay, the ducky's super cute though. Okay, so just practice again. Taking my time. Oh, very good. I'm impressing myself. Okay, well, practice makes perfect. So I just need practice, but I feel like I'm already making progress. Now, while I did really great on my scrap paper, I'm not going to attempt it on my actual nice blended card because I don't want to ruin it. Okay, so I'm going to bring my stamp positioner out, but just know that you can use these Dollar Tree items to do the same thing. Before I do that though, I am going to bring in a paper trimmer and just trim down my panel. I like to trim it down so that I have a 1/8 of an inch margin around my card. I think it just looks really nice. So let me put my little stamps. I am going to bring them and put them up here. And there we go. Okay, now prior to trimming it down my panel, I am at A2 size. So I'm at 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And I'm simply going to take off 1/8 of an inch off each side. So I'll go to 4 1/8. And then I'm going to flip it all the way around and go at the 4. And then starting this at 5 1/2, I'll go to 5 3/8. And finally, I will go to 5 1/4. So my final dimension is 4 by 5 1/4. Okay, so there's that. Now I'm ready to do my stamping because now I know what area I can stamp within, and I know that if I position it, it won't get trimmed off or be hugging too close to the side. Bringing in my little mini Misty stamp positioner, and I'm going to put a little magnet here. That way my paper does not shift. Okay, so I was going to start with the flip-flops, and just to get an idea of how everything's going to be, I'm going to place them all, but I'm not going to stamp them all at the same time. I think I had it something like this, and if not, well, did I have it more like, no, I like this. Oh, there we go. That's looking good. I don't know what this little move was, but I'm liking the flow, I suppose. Okay. Okay, I like that. So what I'm going to do is take a mental picture of that. I just wanted to make sure that my spacing was right for my first one. Okay, so let's go ahead. I'm going to shut the door, and when I shut this little clear door, I can cling my stamp right over here. Again, I'm going to conditioner it. When they create these stamps, they have a little residue on the top just from creating the stamp and manufacturing it. So if you just take a moment to kind of rub that off, then you tend to get a better first impression when stamping. So I'm just going to do that. It sometimes helps. And ooh, let's see, that's kind of looking a little oily, but it did with my little rubber ducky floaty too, and it tended to turn out really nice. Oh, that does look nice. Okay, so that looks fine. I am going to double stamp that just to make it kind of even out just a little bit. Okay, and I tend to double stamp any stamp set that I have. So I'm not double stamping because it's Dollar Tree. I 99.9% of the time double stamp any stamp set that I'm using. Okay. So far so good with the stamps. I have used them before in another video, so I already kind of knew that they, you know, they hold their own. Okay, so then we have our ice cream cone, and I'm just making sure that I kind of know where I wanted this. I think it was something like, was it like this? I think it was something maybe like that. Okay. Clean that. And then I'll condition the stamp. Okay. Here we go. I'll press this one down. So the reason I like the stamp positioner is if I want to add another layer or double stamp it, if you will, then everything's still in alignment. So I don't have to worry about, you know, if I'm using the stamp block like this, I'm not having to worry about, you know, hovering it just so in order to get a perfect match. Okay, that looks scrumptious. Okay, here we go. Taking this one off, moving on to the watermelon. Side note, my kiddos and I, we count how many watermelons that we eat every summer because it is our favorite thing to do. I think we're on number, okay, we've done 3. So, oops, you know what? That was because this was wet. Hold on, let me dry that so it didn't cling. It was wet from my wet wipe. So yeah, we're on number, or we finished number 3. We love watermelon. Okay, I like how that looks. That should be good. Much better. Okay, condition that. Okay, stamp 1. And now I will double stamp all of them, even if I get a good impression, because I want the contrast to match. That way I have consistency on my card. Okay, oops, there we go. Perfect. Wipe that clean. And place that back. Okay, our final little one, and then I will do that little sentiment from that other stamp set. I think I'll just do that. Very pretty. Okay. So it goes without saying that card making can get expensive in a hurry. So the reason I wanted to do this video is because I just want people to know that there are ways to get into card making for a little bit cheaper. So, you know, just if you're wanting to give it a try, or if you're wanting to keep your crafting costs down, there are some other really great alternatives as well. Okay, so there we are. I really like how that looks. That's super sweet. I'm gonna bring in this, oops, I didn't mean to take my ink away, Bethany. I'm gonna bring in the little hello stamp. I think that's super cute. And what if we just have that? Oh, I think I got some ink there. That's okay. I can actually take that off with a sand eraser. I think I'm going to add my little hello just like this. Have it kind of half on, half off. But I like the idea of having that there. Okay, there we go. Whoops, should take this little guy off. And there we go. Okay, I've used this stamp before, so it doesn't really need to be conditioned. Let's add our ink. Ooh, I feel like that needs a lot more. Okay. Oh, it looks just fine. It always kind of looks a little marbly on the actual stamp, but then it tends to stamp out fine. I'm wanting it to be more solid over here. It kind of pools up, but the results are, they're just fine, so no need to worry. Okay, ends up being nice and even. Okay, we are all set with our panel. How adorable. How cute. I really like that. So I'm going to clear my space, and now we're going to work on constructing our card base. And the next couple things that I want to bring in from Dollar Tree are that mounting tape that they call it. Again, office supply section. And I also want to bring in some of the embellishments, so some little gemstones. I think that would be really pretty. Now, up until this point, I've been using 80-pound cardstock. For my card base, I am going to switch to 110-pound cardstock to have just it be a little bit sturdier. And I have this trimmed at 11 by 4 1/4. I do want to make this a top folding card, so what I'm going to do is place my score mark at 5 1/2. So that's half of my 11. Then I can fold and crease. Okay, now go ahead and open this up and use some little magnets for my mat. That way I can go ahead and have that steady while I'm creating. Now what I'm going to do, actually, I'm going to pause and grab my little mono sand eraser. If you can see, I just got a little, oh, there we go, just a little bit of ink there. I mean, you can barely see it, but I can see it. So I'm just going to take this little mono sand eraser and just kind of sand and heal that off. And all done. Looks great. Okay, I'm going to turn this over and I'm going to bring in this mounting tape. Let's see here. There is, I'm going to cut off the end just because there's, oh, actually it doesn't matter. Nope, it doesn't matter at all. Okay, I'm going to bring in some non-stick scissors though. And this is on the thinner side, but it works really well. Sometimes you just need a little bit of dimension, but for sake of comparison, let's look here. This is the mounting tape from the office supply section. This is the foam tape from the craft section, and you can see the difference in the width there. So this is at least double. Okay, so although with my card making supplies, I have a variety of thicknesses because sometimes you want just a little bit of dimension and sometimes, you know, you do need to bump it up a little bit. But if you really like using this and you wanted it to be a little thicker, you could just double up with it. So, ooh, sticky, sticky. So here's my last one. There we go. Now, just simply going to remove the liner. Okay, let's see if I can get that off. So there we go. Just gotta get a little bit of it. Whoops, oh, okay, kind of ripped there. That's okay. That was more me getting a little eager, but slow and steady. There we go. Okay, and then finally, ooh, that is some sticky business. Okay, there we go. Turn this around and then place this centered right on my card. See how that margin just makes it look really nice and polished? Okay, now what I'm going to do is bring in these little gemstone stickers, and again, they look to be, from first glance and from the name, stickers, they look to be a self-adhesive. So I think you can actually pull these off in a line because they have the adhesive attaching them. So for example, you could do this and have them, you know, be a line. I'm going to rip them apart because I want to do them independent of one another. And what I think I'll do is I'm going to bring some down here because I want to extend a little bit of that area. Okay, that's fun. And then they're all the same size, which is the only bummer because I kind of like to do a, you know, variety of sizes, like a bigger and then a smaller. So because they're not the same, or because they are the same, excuse me, I think I will just kind of make them independent of one another. Ooh, that's kind of fun. It kind of adds to the magicalness of a beachy card in summertime. Maybe I'll bring one here. And honestly, I think I'm going to stop there. Just a little shine to make it fun, but I'm not going to go overboard. Okay, so here is our final little card, heavily inspired by Dollar Tree products. I was really excited to see so many Dollar Tree items that related to card making because, like I said, it's just nice to have some more affordable opportunities from time to time, especially with things like foam tape or embellishments. Sometimes that can add up quite a bit. So if you're wanting to tiptoe into card making, or you are a card maker already and you're curious about other craft supplies, be sure to check out Dollar Tree. Also, make sure to let me know if you found any fun card making items at Dollar Tree that will inspire me as well when I head back to do some more shopping. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy watching this video and seeing all of the fun things that I found at Dollar Tree, be sure to give this a thumbs up. And like I said, we'll continue doing some Dollar Tree inspired card making next time when we do those little dies. So can't wait to see you. Thank you so much for crafting with me, and I'll see you next time.